Ever wondered what lurked in the ancient oceans millions of years ago? We often think of giant sea reptiles like the mosasaurs, but what about the squids? Were there real-life krakens swimming in prehistoric seas? Today, we'd re-diving deep into the world of ancient cephalopods to find out just how big they were and what they ate. Let's start by clarifying what we mean by ancient squid. The creatures we often picture with their massive shells weren't exactly squids as we know them today. They were ammonites and other shelled cephalopods. These guys were the rock stars of the Mesozoic era, the same time dinosaurs roamed the earth. So, how big did they get? The record holder for the largest ammonite is a species called Parapuzuja sepenrodensis. Imagine a spiral shell as big as a monster truck tire. Fossils found in Germany show this beast had a shell over 8 feet or 2.5 meters in diameter. If you uncoil that shell, the animal inside would have been enormous, likely weighing over 3,000 pounds or about 1.5 tons. That's heavier than a small car. These giants slowly cruised through the water, their massive shells acting as buoyancy tanks, just like a modern submarine. But these shelled giants weren't the only players. True squids, the ancestors of the ones we see today, also existed back then. Finding their fossils is incredibly rare because, unlike ammonites, they don't have hard shells. They're mostly soft tissue, which doesn't fossilize well. However, scientists have found some amazing fossils that give us a glimpse into their world. One of the most famous ancient vampire squids, though not a true squid, is Vampiroteuthis infernalis, which literally means vampire squid from hell. While its modern relatives are small and live in the deep sea, some of its ancient cousins were much larger. The real giants, however, might have been the ancestors of today's colossal and giant squids. Fossil evidence for these soft-bodied behemoths is scarce, but we can make educated guesses based on their modern relatives and the creatures they preyed upon. For example, paleontologists have found fossilized bones of ichthyosaurs, which were large marine reptiles with strange circular marks on them. What could make those marks? The sucker rings from the tentacles of a giant squid. This suggests that huge squids, possibly reaching lengths of 30 to 40 feet, or 10 to 12 meters, were battling with these sea dragons. Imagine that epic fight, a giant reptile versus a tentacled titan from the deep. So what was on the menu for these ancient cephalopods? The shelled ammonites were likely opportunistic feeders. With their powerful beaks, similar to a parrot's, hidden within their tentacles, they could crush the shells of other sea creatures. They probably ate crabs, smaller ammonites, and slow-moving fish they could catch. They weren't fast swimmers due to their bulky shells, so they ambushed their prey or scavenged on the seafloor. The true squids, on the other hand, were active predators, just like their modern descendants. They were built for speed. Using jet propulsion, they could shoot through the water to ambush fish, crustaceans, and even other squids. The evidence of sucker marks on ichthyosaurs suggests that the largest ancient squids were bold enough to take on prey much larger than themselves. They would have used their 2 long feeding tentacles to snatch their victim and then pulled it towards their powerful beak to tear it apart. They were the stealthy assassins of the ancient oceans. It's fascinating to think about these incredible creatures. From the shelled giants that looked like something out of a sci-fi movie to the elusive, soft-bodied hunters that battled sea reptiles, the ancient oceans were full of amazing cephalopods. While we might not have found a true kraken fossil spanning a mile long, the reality is just as impressive. Giant ammonites with shells wider than a person is tall, and colossal squids fighting prehistoric sea dragons. The ancient world was truly a wild place. Thanks for joining our deep dive today. If you enjoyed this journey back in time, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more adventures into the prehistoric world. Let us know in the comments what ancient creature you'd like to see next. See you in the next video.